We are on GTD as Maryland Fishing Line.
Yeah, but I stopped that. So we shouldn't be there now anymore. We should have started on the right place now.
Started streaming 74 seconds ago.
Right. Yeah, but I shut that down.
Shut it down.
I shut it down. Shut it down, Joey.
Ooh, now we're live. 2 places.
Now we're on YouTube. We should be on YouTube Chesapeake Angler and Facebook Chesapeake Angler.
We're on YouTube Chesapeake Angler so far.
So we're in the right places after a false start. Sorry about that, everybody.
Sorry.
It happens sometimes to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Best of us for the rest of us.
Yes.
There's Phil. Hey, I now know we're in the right place. How you doing, Phil? What's up, buddy? Okay, you ready?
I was born ready.
Hey, everybody, I'm Brian.
And I'm Joey.
Welcome to episode 39 of the Maryland Fishing Line. Today is Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. Maryland Fishing Line, folks, is a production of the Angler Magazine Chesapeake Edition. How you doing tonight, Joey?
I'm doing dandy.
You look good with a haircut.
Thank you. It's first haircut since maybe May, June.
All cleaned. Has it really been that long?
Yeah.
You look sharp.
Thank you.
You look sharp. I know that you were doing the whole flow thing, and you liked the way that the ginger hair
for a while
came underneath your hat.
It started getting annoying.
You were very happy about it.
My
but
beard was thick too. Like it was a lot thicker than I think people realized.
I saw you last night on Discord when we were riding bikes, and you were like, it's like, Joey looks different. He looks good again. That's
because
awesome.
I didn't have my shirt on the whole time. No one realized that. No.
We were also hung up.
I threatened to go shirtless, and then
we're so hung up looking at your hair that we didn't notice you weren't wearing any clothing.
Whistle nips over here.
All right, what do we got tonight? We got something of a fishing report, a little bit of catch up, a little bit of mustard, some other things going on. Got some few things to talk about from the Maryland Kayak Outfitters perspective, and that's that for tonight. It may be a little bit of a short show, but sometimes we always say we're going to have a short.
We always say that, and I said it before, and I was like, let's just call it a short show.
It goes crazy. But before I get too deep into that, I want to thank our sponsors this week. I'm actually going to roll Maryland Kayak Outfitters in as a sponsor this week, Joey. Maryland Kayak Outfitters providing first-class, pedal drive, fully rigged fishing kayaks here in southern Maryland on beautiful St. Leonard Creek.
Are they fully rigged yet?
They're not fully rigged yet. They are going to be fully rigged now because they showed up today. JMJ Firearms, Mechanicsville, Maryland. Modern Air, HVAC in Mechanicsville, Maryland. Robin Cavallaro at Remax One, a fantastic real estate agent. I would not recommend anybody else right now for real estate. And I even have other friends that do it, but I'd be like, no, not you. Robin.
What about Phil Dunphy?
Go to Robin. No, I wouldn't recommend him. He's all over the map. Stoney's Kingfishers in Solomons, Maryland. Scotts Cove Marina in Deal Island. Huntingtown Automotive in Huntingtown. They do a fantastic job. They've been servicing my vehicles here for a while.
You don't go to Toyota?
Eat Chesapeake in Dunkirk, Rosehaven, and Bowie, otherwise known as the Chesapeake Grill. You're going to find links to all of these folks in the show notes or in the show description. Make sure to let them know you heard about them here. So who we got in the live stream already?
I think Brennan gave a Father's Day hint. I think, is he having a kid?
Oh, wait, what? What? I don't even know.
I don't know what that meant. Unrelated, I can't wait for Father's Day. Well.
Okay, is that something you guys sharing some sort of weird
It's
news
on the restream on YouTube.
All right, I'm not gonna go. Today I saw those plastic balls that go on tailgate hitches but adapted for Crocs. Unrelated, I can't wait for Father. Oh, he wants to give me those for Father's Day.
I know, but
yeah, Casey chimed in real quickly with a hard no.
I figured I could get some wheels turning.
Fantastic.
Let's see. Hey, William. Hello, Father. Paul's here. Casey obviously is here. Robert S. Perch and Shad getting closer. Joey need to fly. Yeah, I'm planning on my friend Corey and some guys going up there with the kayaks up to Fletcher's when the Shad run starts. Cool. The Perch soon too. So yeah, I think we'll start talking about that a little bit more as it gets it's getting close though.
Is there anything we want to talk about from a fishing report perspective? Do we want to kind of rehash what's going on right now?
Pickerel.
What people can look for now? Yeah.
I think pickerel's about it.
Yeah. And trout.
It's been so freaking cold. Yeah, trout stockings and pickerel. That's your best bet right now.
Yeah.
And for the hardcore guys wanting to hunt, but most of hardcore people fishing right now are catching pickerel.
Yeah.
That's all I see.
Yeah, that's all you say.
So, man, anglers, they are spot burning.
Oh, I seen that.
Man, that the one Red Bridges
Yeah.
one of the places I was like, man, a lot like people obviously know about it, but it is a hard secret.
Yeah.
And they go in there that night, last Tuesday or something. I'm like, and then the comments were like, "Thanks for blowing up everything." I was like, "Wow."
I thought I took some grief for spot burning.
Ooh.
And
There's some upset people.
Holy cow! They basically they would like show you the signs for where they were going in the videos from on their Facebook channel.
If you want some good spots right now, go to Anglers.
Well,
Instagram.
maybe not.
They might have taken. I don't know.
Maybe
everyone,
not.
their dog might be there because they have a huge following. No offense to us, Angler. I mean,
yeah. But you're right. They are spot burning like crazy, like nutso crazy with the spot burn.
See, they might bring more. They might get some more average Joes who don't know much, and they start going and drive the business back into anglers. You know, people are So it's a win-win for them.
It works.
They're a business. You got to respect that.
Yeah, it's good for them. And I don't want to talk about spot burning. I get accused of spot burning a lot because I make videos from where I would catch fish. I mean, it wasn't very hard. I mean, honestly though, if you didn't know Mallows Bay, Mattawoman Creek, and a couple of those other places that I go.
If it starts with an M, Brian's there.
Yeah, if you didn't know those places already, you probably weren't fishing.
Yeah.
Or you were really new to the area and you were going to find them. It's just I helped you get there quicker and showed you what to do when you got there.
You still got to catch the
You
fish.
still got to, and that's the other thing I say is you can take them there, you can lead a horse to water, but the horse has still got to know how to
Or you
drink.
could hire Maryland Kayak Outfitters and they'll set you up.
They'll put you right on the fish.
Yeah.
Put you right on the
They'll
fish.
catch them for you and throw them in your boat. If you go with me, I'll just let some snakehead jump in.
Snakehead hunter. And yellow perch are going to be here soon, and shad are going to be here pretty soon. Yeah, I think it's all getting ready to start popping here as soon as we get through this last little
Cold
spell
spurt
of
unless
winter.
Texas shows up here.
It
Might tomorrow night.
I
Call
think
for snow.
Thursday we're talking about snow, or maybe Wednesday into
tomorrow
Thursday.
and Wednesday and then hopefully mid morning turns into rain.
3 to 5 inches is what I
You
heard
serious?
last time. Yeah. I was getting ready to put the snowblower away today, and then I was like, no, I think I'll keep that here.
I just don't want the water to get too cold.
I know. I'm so ready for spring. I'm sure everybody that's in the live stream has got the same thing. I'm tired of this cold, and I want to get back out on the water. No, Brendan, no desire to go ice fishing. I know a lot of people do it. I know a lot of people ice fish. I don't. Have you ever had a desire, Joey, to ice fish?
Zero. I think we talked. That might have been in this or that.
Was it? Yeah, I
I
think
want
we
to go
did.
sit on a hut and sit over ice.
I haven't had a desire to do it.
Maybe if I turned it, had a TV in there, a recliner.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, Joey, what's going on in your world?
Well, got me an old fashioned over here. Almost done with it. So no, just kidding.
Any fin is possible. That's Robert May's kids channel on YouTube.
Robert, is that Willie Mays Hayes' cousin?
No, he's got a youngin that's making YouTube videos. It's like what is he, like 4 or 5 years old, 5, 6 years old, something like that, out there fishing, catching fish, making YouTube. We talked about it on a podcast.
Yeah. Sorry, I talked about Willie Mays Hayes, but if anyone knows that reference. No, I've been obviously it's winter, haven't done much. Going down to Swansboro to go red fishing this weekend now.
Nice.
That was an off the whim, quick. My best friend's move-in trip. The red fishing is very good right now. I was telling you this morning. It's a little bit different than summertime, but they're schooled up and they're in the. You get a good low tide. It's like sight fishing's awesome right now. Who knows with the rain now? I've been tying I just switched all my stuff. There's about 2 or 3 people who've approached me that are new to fly fishing. Mm-hmm. So I am tying a bunch of flies for everyone, a dozen or so each. So I've been doing some assembly line tying.
Okay.
I figure it's a good way to help the people get into the sport.
Sure.
Just give them a bunch of flies that work in the area.
Sure.
So I was doing I turned out a lot yesterday afternoon. So I've been working on that. I think that's other than I finally got a bona fide in the shop today.
Mm-hmm.
I did some deliveries this morning.
I'll talk about that.
And along with delivery, Dave actually did the first part. I did the easy part. Picked up some boats, and we got was able to get a bona fide RS 117 in Top Gun Gray.
So you've got it in the shop.
It's in the store.
How long do you think it'll last?
I don't know. I haven't put it on social media yet.
Okay, so
just
you heard
like
it
my
here,
dad's.
folks. You're looking for an RS 117.
$999.
Joey's got one. That's a great price.
That's an awesome price. That's one of the best rated boats. It's been one of the best rated kayak boats.
So for sub
1,000, it's $999. But it hits the boxes for everything. My dad's fished out of it. I know he has a Titan now, but I loved it when I was in it. I had to get used to a paddle kayak.
Yeah.
Fishing tidal waters with a fly rod in the dark time. Which one of my best stripers this year was out of that boat on Topwater and my fly rod just around here, and I got wrapped around like 7 pilings and still caught the fish because the freaking kayak just goes for a ride. But I love the boat. So yeah, we did get that in, and like I said, did some dropping off. I'm already like if I don't finish up tomorrow, I'm going to be behind on paddle sports for the year. So I'm almost done putting all my stuff together.
Wow.
Yeah, if I don't do it by mid-March or mid-February, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So it's almost done, other than actually going over and prepping my paddle sports store, because we'll keep some of our. Obviously, we literally have all we have in Solomon's, which isn't a lot, because we did so well planning, projecting how much to bring in at the end of the season.
Right.
Last year, and then starting April, most stuff will go back to Leonardtown, and then I'll keep a handful of things in Solomon just because I'm the kayak fishing guy. So,
well, I wish you luck with the redfish. I hope.
Yeah, I am pumped on that. I don't know if it's 100% yet. I'm still waiting on my friend Dan's mother-in-law, and she's in Texas right now. But Texas is everyone's snowed under and no power down there. I don't know if she'll come up because he has a daughter now. Yeah. And I think his wife works. So I don't know. We're talking about it. Worst case, we just move it to next weekend.
Yeah.
So I am excited because it was just a random thing. He called me last week, said he's moving. He's the one I went down there last year.
Did you know he was moving?
He told me he was looking at Colorado. So he works corporate for Costco.
Okay.
So he can actually, because he moved Costco to Costco corporate stuff from California to Wilmington. Mm-hmm. And then he's able to stay within the company, keep all his benefits and everything, and just go work out of Aurora is where he'll be doing some managing.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think mid-March they want him out there.
Wow.
So I didn't get to go down much this year because of COVID.
Yeah, and that's fast. That's like bing, bang, boom.
We went down the one time when we thought COVID wasn't a big deal.
Right. Yeah.
And it still is. But so it was like 2 days later, I'm like, I'm going to take Dan redfish.
Yeah.
I did not have any hopes of doing that this winter, and just boom.
There it is.
My friend Captain Perry had an opening, so
nice.
That's about it for me. Like I said,
I hope it works out. I hope you're actually able to bring back some stories. I saw one. I was telling you earlier today.
Yeah, huge one.
Did you go and look that up?
No, but you went like this.
Yeah, it was a big. There was some dude down at I guess around Norfolk that was fishing under some piers and pulled out a nice big bull red, just fishing under piers right up in the shallow water just this couple of days ago. I mean, they're starting to move because they're getting eager for spring too. Fish are. Fish are ready. The fish are ready. They're tired of all this cold.
Yeah.
So, Joe, you mentioned that you did some deliveries.
Yep.
And the delivery that you made this morning, and thank you very much for that, was my 3 Titan 10.5 boats showed up. I have them in the barn, and they are ready to be
It literally
ready.
didn't even come in the store.
I am.
You didn't know until this morning that
I didn't know. You texted me
early.
This morning. It was like a little after 7.
Hey, you be around? I'm going to drop off your crap.
I was like, I thought you were going to bring the bike rack or something by. I was like, oh, he wants to.
I did take that off yesterday to get the Jess's car cleaned.
Yeah, that's when I thought I was like, oh, he's supposed to bring that by. I'll be here. And you're like, I'm going to drop your boats off, and I'm like, well, okay. I had to go down the barn and make room and shuffle stuff around, and I got one up on a cart already. I built one cart today. I learned some things. Now, the hulls of those Titans are different, and boy, are they big boats for 10.5-foot boats. I knew they were big, and I'd seen them, but until you actually see them up against like what you regularly fish, you don't really kind of like see the difference. The beam on my Topwater is 34 inches. The beam on that Titan is 37.5 inches.
But it feels like this much more, doesn't it?
It feels like it's a whole foot
Yeah.
extra on that boat the way that it sits.
But it is not any lighter, though. Man, these things are heavy.
No. And now I can see, that hull on that Titan is so wide, gives it the stability. My Topwater has that double keel where the keel comes up. Because when I was building my carts, I was looking underneath the boats about how to place the runners, because I've got the long PVC runners for my Topwater. I can roll the cart to the back of the truck and just kind of push it and slide it in. And when I was looking at the underside, the bottom of the Titan today, trying to figure out where to put the runner. So I built the cart exactly the same, a couple of improvements to make it a little bit better than the ones I've got. And I was looking at the bottom, trying to figure out where to put the PVC for the runners, and there's nowhere that made sense. So I called you today, and I said, Joey.
I was actually unloading the bonafide while you're. Well, I did that well.
It was actually, because you told me on the phone, it's like, I don't have an answer. Because I was asking you, where should I set those runners? Should I put them outside the boat to kind of cradle it from the outside? Should I try to put them in? And you're just, this is what I appreciate, because you're like, I don't have the answer, but here's where you can go find the answer. And you sent me over to the Titan 10.5, which I'm the Facebook group, which I'm a part of. And
is there a specific 10.5 one?
Yeah, there's one for specific.
Because I know they had the Slayer Max one. I'm on the general native one. I didn't know they had a Titan 10.5 one.
Well, resoundingly,
there's so many people with them, though.
Yeah, resoundingly, the feedback I got was to not go long with the PVC runners, but instead to go perpendicular, to do a series of perpendicular. So almost like on your cart, you have sawhorse tops that I'm going to end up putting like 4 down it, and set it in that way, so that supports the hull better, because the way with it being so like a mostly flat bottom, it's really hard to get the PVC right. They'd either have to be so close together that they'd be literally right on the keel and it'd be tippy, or you have to be outside on the edges, which doesn't make any sense either, because then the boat's kind of sitting with a lot of that weight on those points of the boat, the hull that actually kind of bend in, and I don't think you want that either. So it made a lot of sense. What I think I might end up doing is running some PVC and then maybe seeing if I can't figure out a way to put some carpet on it.
You should go to a firehouse and see if they have old fire hose.
That's a great
idea. That works best when we wrap stuff.
We talked about that. Yeah. That would actually be great, because then you could just wrap the PVC with the old fire hose. Yeah. A little hot glue or something so you can take it off when it wears. Just something to give it that little bit of extra. But I'm so excited to have all those boats in-house now. Yeah. And they look so good sitting there next to each other. And, I'm going to have 5 boats lined up there on carts with my Old Town, with the Topwater, with the Slayer, because I picked up that Slayer 13, and now I've got 3 of those 10.5s. I feel like I'm a real operation now. I'm pretty excited about that.
Brendan, they are like 120, even the 10.5s fully rigged. Yeah. They're like just right around 100 or under 100 without anything on. Like if it's just a hull. They're heavy. And they're big.
My Topwater's about that way, but that Topwater's 12-foot boat. Yeah. And it weighs in at about 120 fully. And that's with the drive in it. Yeah. And the 10.5 with the drive in it.
With the drive is around 120.
Yeah.
The hull itself is heavier than normal, but other than being bigger. They use a foam injection on those. It's like a Boston whaler. Yeah. Like they're literally unsinkable. You could fill the hull up with water and get in it, and it'll still have buoyancy to keep it up.
Well, I really feel like now that I've got them in-house, I've got the right here in front of me, I know I made the right choice with the boat for rental, a rental, a fishing rental, a rental fishing kayak. I think I've got the right boats. The stability, it's not something, because, when you get into like my Topwater, it took me a while to kind of figure out where the points were and how far you could go and what you could, how do you stand up in it if you wanted to stand up in it. Yeah. I feel like that Titan is going to be something you can get in. The learning curve from a stability standpoint is practically nil. Yeah. It's gonna just really feel like you're in something that's really stable. If you just
it'll feel like you're standing on ground. It's ridiculous how stable it is.
Yeah. So, and I think they're going to be with that hull shape. I think it's going to be a little faster. Now I understand, too, that double keel of that Topwater, I think, sucks a lot of the speed.
Yeah, it's drag.
Because it was always, whenever I was out with you and with Jerry, you guys would just, pedal away from me, and I'm sitting here working.
Secretly, we were working really hard, but we controlled our heart. No, skin.
I kept calling my boat, last summer, Miss Piggy. because compared to you guys, that
you'd
boat
really
didn't
have to
want
crank to just try to
turn.
catch up and grab me.
Yeah, and I wanted to try to hitch a ride with you and all that kind of stuff, but I really can see the advantages now of that hull design and the extra width. I'm so excited. I literally cannot wait. What I'm going to do now, I've been talking to Phil. Phil, you're here in the live stream. I've been talking to Phil a lot the last few days, and he's been asking me lots of questions. And Phil said, I'm asking you too many questions. I'm like, no, dude. If I'm not fishing, I want to talk about fishing, so bring it on. But we've been talking about, I lost my train of thought. I can't remember what I was.
Rigging, Phil?
Oh, rigging. Yeah, he was asking me if I was going to do some videos for rigging the boats. And I do, but I don't want to do it on the first boat. So I want to learn because I'm going to play.
Later.
I'm going to play with some stuff on the first boat, and when I start punching holes in the boat, I'm going to have thought that out. But from the perspective of where to place different like little accessories and how it's all going to play out, I think I'm going to wait and kind of play with it a little bit before I make any video recommendations on put this here, put that there, and that could even change over the course of a season too. Yeah. I think I think that's, but yeah, we're definitely going to do some Fort Hill Kayak Anglers video stuff. Yeah, that would actually be fun to do a little exclusive for Fort Hill. Those my fuckers. We could do something a little exclusive and have a lot of fun with that.
I feel like the tracking was fine, Jerry, at least on the 12.
So the
10.5 is only a little bit shorter.
Let me back up a little bit. Jerry says he wants to know how it's going to track with the flat hull bottom. It's not really flat. It's just a different design. My Topwater is definitely a dual keel. It's definitely got like a U up in there, and that's what provides it a lot of the stability. And that Titan is not a flat bottom hull, but it doesn't have that pronounced dual keel in it, I guess is really what I'm trying to say. It's definitely got shape to that bottom, and it's definitely it's I don't want to mislead anybody to think that Titan's a flat bottom boat. It's not a flat bottom boat.
Nope.
And one of the things I was really eager to get my hands on too and actually see firsthand was how the fish finder transducers are going to mount as well.
Oh, did you see that? They have the little. It's okay.
Is that a plate that you take off and then mount something to? And then I noticed they had a little clip that was up inside that little hole
cable
where the transducer cable would run through.
The only thing. I took a starboard. Did you see him? I had him to cut out. So I was going to replace. I already have mine done. When I set mine up, I was in a rush one night. But instead of that, plastic plate is really thin.
Okay.
So I took it off, traced it on starboard, cut it out, drilled the holes, and just got longer hardware. So you can it's a little more heavy duty.
Okay.
So
I've got a lot of starboard lane. What width did you use? 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch?
Stuff that came with the boondock stuff.
So that's 1/2 inch.
Yeah, that's tough. It was thick.
Yeah, I've actually got some 3/4 inch, and I've got some 1/4 inch, and I think I may have some 1/2 inch starboard laying around.
I'm about to. I don't want to rip someone off. One Up Objective did it. I just saw the Yak Attack was genius. Sorry to sidetrack. It just reminded me. Or the stakeout poles.
Yeah.
You shouldn't put it through the couple holes.
No.
Jerry told me that after I did it.
No.
And then I had to think, oh, that's smart. There's no good real way without like an anchor trolley with like an O-ring. But One Up has this little, it looks like starboard. It's printed or something. It goes on the tracks, and it shoots out, and then it has a little hole, and that's for your stakeout pole. I traced mine to cut it. I got to finish cutting it out because I was doing it with Marcus. Just making my own and putting 2 holes for T-bolts, and then it slides on the tracks wherever you want your stakeout pole to go.
So would that stakeout pole then be sort of permanently attached to your trolley line, though?
No, I don't want a trolley line on my kayak. There's a piece of starboard that's about a little bit longer than my knife.
Okay.
And then one side over here, you're going to have it shaped.
Hold that up a little bit.
One side will have 2 holes for T-bolts that'll go on my track on the Titan.
Okay.
That'll run wherever I want on the boat.
Okay.
And the other side flanges out and has a hole in the middle of it, so stakeout pole will go through it.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Yeah, so you're not doing anything or hard mounting your boat.
So if you needed to release that really quick, you're reaching over and grabbing the stakeout pole and pulling it off.
Yeah, but then Yak Attack today, I saw on their Instagrams, they took one of the rod holders and just rolled it over the side of the boat. It just went right in.
Okay.
Really though, I have one of the
idea.
1-up objective ones, and I tell people to get it because it's like $20.
Yeah.
It's a really nice little piece.
If you haven't used
if you have a stakeout pole,
yeah. If you haven't used a stakeout
Yeah.
pole, yeah. I don't know that I want my rentals to be.
No, that was more of a when
Yeah.
I talked. My mind's a little weird. I talked about starboard, and I was like, oh, I was taking more starboard, and
Well, I've thought long and hard about putting anchor trolleys on
I
my
don't
rentals.
like
and
drilling.
well, no, not only that, but I don't know that I want my rentals having anchors, because anchors are something you need to know how to use with a kayak, and I don't think that's something you can communicate for a day use. I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
You need to know how to manage that anchor.
So you don't come over and anchor us out if I hire you?
If you wanted me to anchor you, Joey, I would anchor you.
Thanks.
No, I don't think that I really want to put anchor trolleys on the boats. It can bad things can happen on a kayak if you catch a big swell and you don't know how to release your anchor really quickly. And I don't know that I want to.
I remember some waves I took over the bow at Cedar Point in the little skiff I had.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I was
want to do that.
I was in way too much water than I was supposed to be in that boat.
I don't think I want to do that. But I'm super excited to finally have the boats in hand and be able to. It feels real now. It feels not that it didn't feel real. Every time something new shows up like that, and this was the big thing.
I know what you're saying today. I'm like, well, now you got the boats.
It's like it's really happening. I'm super excited about it. So
Worst case scenario, in a month they'll be up for sale for $23.99, one at a time.
I don't think that'll happen. I'm hoping that things will pick up.
I'll buy them back from you if you don't want it. You'll be fine. You'll do good.
I think it'll work.
You'll do
I hope
good.
it'll work out. I hope it'll work out. Otherwise, I'll have a lot of friends that want to show up and go fishing, and I'll have
that's your problem. You gotta
you
get strict on the. Sorry, this is a business. This ain't
I
toys.
don't know how I'll handle that. I don't know.
I have a lot of people that used to approach me that with just regular kayaks. You gotta pick and choose.
Yeah.
You want to keep a friendship. You also gotta keep your business.
Yeah. The other thing that I've been wanting to bring this up for a while. The use of technology for logging catches, because I just like you, I think you like to be able to do this, know where you caught a fish, when you caught a fish, the data side of it.
I like it here.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to you recently. The people that count.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. Sometimes you just gotta go. It's like taking your computer off your bike. Sometimes just going to ride a bike.
Yeah.
I do like knowledge. I mark it on my Garmin. I actually used to have a journal I wrote in a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I learned. Sorry, can I go on a little tangent with this?
Go.
So no, finish what you were going to say though, and then
No, I was just going to talk because Phil and I were talking.
Yeah.
And I pointed him to my Strava because I use Strava because what I'll do is Strava, for those of you that don't know, it's what we use in the bike world.
Yeah.
It's like the bike computer, the supercomputer, and it tracks everything you do, where you go by GPS.
Yeah.
But one of the things Strava will do is when you finish with a GPS route, if you've taken any pictures during that event,
geotags.
it'll geotag them and drop them in. So I have my fancy Garmin watch, which I set to track my kayaking.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of that, it syncs up to my Strava and my phone. Any pictures that I've taken will sync up into that Strava track. So now I can go back and look pretty much any trip I've taken and tell you where I caught fish, what time of the day it was. There's so much data that's available that I can go back. Now, you may not want that. You may not want that all out there for the public to see. So you can set it to private and have your own data. I know when I was tournament fishing, I recorded stuff, but I
had a private.
I would make it private so that I could go back, because that's important data when you're tournament fishing, is to know. And I'll be able to go back this coming year and tell you where I caught the scoring fish, when I caught them, what time of the day, what the condition. I can tell you weather conditions. All of that stuff is encapsulated and captured inside of Strava. And I shared that with Phil, and I was like, you want to know where I'm catching fish and when I'm catching fish on the creek, go look at my Strava from last fall, because I ran most of it in the fall. I didn't really do a lot of stuff with my watch in the spring. I did a lot of it when I was tournament fishing for KBF, but I didn't do it with the creek until the fall, probably until like August, September, all the way through November. I think I cataloged every trip, and it was more to know how long. I think I totaled 450 miles in the kayak last year.
Jeez.
And a lot of that, when you think it was pond fishing too, it was, spinning around in circles in a little fishing pond too.
The problem with that, sorry, my knife's like my fidget spinner.
That's okay.
That's a
It's your
paper
fidget
trail.
spinner.
If my wife knew how much I actually did, oh my God. It'd be, actually, she doesn't really care. She would be like, oh my God.
And I actually noticed that, and Phil, I hope I'm not calling you out, but Phil set up a Strava account today, and I had a new Strava follower. Phil followed me on Strava.
I hope you followed me. I gotta look. I don't get on Strava a lot.
But I think there is a way that I can allow my friends to see activities and not the public to see activities. So that's just another way.
Let's see it, Phil.
And I know there's the angler without the E, that button thing. Have you seen that? It's like the easy button from Staples. Where it's something called
on Strava?
Angler. No. This is another app that kind of does some of that stuff, but it seems a little more convoluted. There's it's literally like, you remember the old Staples easy button, the big red button? Yeah. So there's like this button thing that looks like that you put on your boat, and every time you catch a fish, you hit the button, and the button logs that you've caught a fish and what. It seems really cumbersome to me. I'd just much rather, because what I'll do is when I'm fishing in the creek, and this is what I did also. Every time I caught a fish, I snapped a picture of it, and back in the water it went. It didn't matter. I wasn't trying to be artistic. If it was a nice fish, then I would, try to get a nice angle and make fish. But if it was, like one of those little short 13, 15-inch fish, those little footballs that I caught a lot in the fall, it was literally just unhook it, hold it up next to the boat, snap the picture, and let it go. So I could tell where I caught a fish, when I caught a fish, the weather of that day. All of that data is there. And all I had to do was take a picture. And that's a whole lot easier than hitting a button and all this other crazy stuff. Yeah, digital spot burning. Michael says digital spot burning. But, it's more data than anything else for me, personally. Yeah. I want to be able to see where I caught a fish. I know. Well, you were getting ready to say something. Where were you at, Joey? Where are you at with that?
Oh. No, I mean, I actually, you guys remember Gander Mountain? Yeah. My mom and dad, it was a long time ago. I probably have had it since I was like 16. I haven't filled it up a lot, but I look back at stuff when I was, like, me and my dad did a trip up for like a week at Rocky Gap and fished in the areas around there, and I wrote everything that we did up there. And when I my early days of going up to like the power plant with my friend Chris and Dennis and whatnot, and a little skiff from my chemistry teacher, I wrote everything down in there. All that's changed because I think the fishery used to be really good back then. I haven't done stuff lately. I think I was so zoned in and mentally, I think I had the creek in my head. I'm not saying I'm a great fisherman. I know I'm good. And I did really well this year. I just had everything mentally. I didn't keep log of anything. To Instagram actual posts or something. I didn't post a lot. I will say I do listen to a podcast called The Captain's Collective, only because he interviews some really cool captains. And there's a guy, he's like the tarpon god. His name's David Mangum. He has a really cool video, and he's just all over. He's just probably one of the best tarpon fly fisherman guides, one of the best guides out there. And I don't know, since 2001, he said, no matter what he does that day, he writes everything down in a journal. He has different ones. So no matter what, he says it cures his OCD, and it's actually weird because he has Tourette's and stuff, and other stuff, and he said just at the end of the day, it's how he decompresses. No matter what happened or how tired he is, it goes in that journal, and he has had it forever.
I get it, and there's something cathartic about writing stuff too.
Yeah,
I get it, and you capture some stuff that you may not put, but man, the ability to get on my boat. Hit my button on my watch that just starts my GPS track, and then take a picture of the fish, and then stop it when I'm done. And I have so much. I have the location. I have the time of day. I have the weather. I couldn't write all that stuff down in a journal.
Oh, I'm sure he has it down to like where,
like a formula kind of thing.
I don't know, something. He's a guide. He's probably doing 14, 15-hour days. So if he jots something down, But he said he could tell trends. He can, the guy can freaking predict where the tarpon are going to be. It's crazy. And he's like that with redfish too. He's a really good redfish guy.
Whisperer.
Yeah. He's everyone's seen like the Yeti 120 Days Presents video. That's him.
Mm-hmm.
But he has got some other stuff from the past, and he's a really good videographer. I don't know. He has some amazing work.
See, I people like that do that a lot. I mean, I know the creek fairly well.
Yeah. This guy knows like.
But I couldn't tell you. I can tell you the points that hold fish. I can tell you with the tides moving a certain direction where the fish are going to be on the point. But I think it really takes that longevity to say, okay, the weather today combined with this other, that really being able to put all the variables together. That's a special kind of talent right there.
Oh yeah,
and that takes a long time.
The guy's a god.
That. Yeah, it takes a long time to develop that.
But he just learned and journal and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. I get really, I don't get. It just drives me nuts when some people get so hardcore in the numbers this year. So I kind of warded off. Some of the fishing. The
numbers game. I know. Michael said boycott FishBrain. I think I have a FishBrain account, but I don't know that I've put much there. It kind of, you know what FishBrain is? It's like a social media for fishermen.
More social media?
More social media, Joey.
Can't keep up with
I agree with you, Michael. It's too much. Give me a good app that shows me my tide charts and, you know, when sun up and sundown is, and that's probably about all I need.
Yeah, see, summertime I can tell you sun, the tide, and everything. Yeah. I do get in the pattern of that, but also now I got a smartwatch halfway through the year.
I think it does make a difference. I think having the watch, it tells you know, tides but you know, I get tide information off of my fish finder.
I do tides in multiple areas because I feel like some of them change.
Yeah.
Also, our tides were never accurate this year.
It's just a general guide anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's never going to be 100% accurate. It's
and you saw how bad that
we had crazy
super tides were. The high, they would be so far out that the high at one point in time would be a normal low. It was just you just improvise, adapt, and overcome. Yeah. So sometimes just the fish ain't just going to be there.
Yeah, Michael, come on up, fly the drone. I've been actually taking some fun pictures with my drone.
Are you going to do the drone wars up there?
No, not
Put
doing
some hula hoops out there. And
none of that.
Have Tom come fly one into a mailbox.
I was talking to Tom King the other day, and he told me, he said,
Tom King does not know how to fly a drone.
He told me, he said, I'll come up there and show you how to fly that thing into a tree.
I do have my Phantom upstairs.
Oh, that's right, yeah. You use that in a while?
It's been about a year.
Yeah.
Well, a quick drone story, because I was on the water filming for the store a couple years ago, and it's like a Phantom 4 or 3 years, I don't know. One of the yoga studios was doing yoga at the wharf, and multiple ladies from the studio came over and asked me to take pictures. I did some really cool pictures for them in video, and then they came over and yelled at me for flying too close.
It's because they could hear it.
I was like, we're trying to run a yoga class. You just asked me. Like,
you asked me.
That's why I freaking hate drones. Yeah.
Well, they thought that you could probably take pictures from further away.
I should have landed it.
It's amazing what these things can do today.
A little creepy.
Yeah, it's the resolution. I'm doing 48 megapixel images off of that thing, and the spherical panoramas. And
my theory, if I ever see one over my property or house, I'm just gonna get butt naked. I have no shame. I'll drop out.
The inverse of I'm gonna shoot it out of the sky.
No, nope. Either A, they'll like it, they'll come back, or probably keep them away for a while.
So yeah, Jerry's right. There's a Karen in every crowd.
Is that me?
No, I think Jerry does for you. That Jerry his little comment was talking about your yoga.
Oh, ladies. The yoga. Yeah, there's probably about 14 Karens in that crowd.
So that's like I said, we don't have much else to talk about this week. You want to do this or that? Do you got anything else?
No, so we were gonna keep it short, but we did pretty good.
Let's do this or that, and we got folks in the live stream. Obviously, come on, play along with us as we walk through our this or that. It's always the most fun that I have on the podcast. I think I enjoy the this or that's more than almost any other part of it. I enjoy the informational pieces. I enjoy
the fact that we still come up with them.
It's gotten harder too.
You think about it, we do 8 on Tuesdays now, not just 4 anymore.
That's right.
And we don't repeat.
And whose idea was it to do 4 of them every week?
Well, it was me. I kept adding. I think I got to 5 one time. We cut back. Yeah. 4 is perfect.
Okay, first item up on this week's this or that: the McDonald's nugget or the Burger King nugget. That's not even a question. Go ahead.
Oh, you have a hardcore preference?
Oh,
Depends
yes,
on my mood. I said it the spicy nuggets at McDonald's. If it wasn't for my dad last week, letting me know they were back, those things are amazing. They're just, but I do like Burger King a lot too.
I have not had the spicy nuggets, but I am a McDonald's nugget fan, and I'll tell you why. Because you guys are all seeing that I got no teeth, right? Well, this goes all the way back to high school. I had my teeth knocked out playing baseball in high school, and for any time during that initial period when I had to have this done, and they start yanking stuff around in my mouth, I couldn't really eat much. And I discovered that I could, in fact, eat McDonald's because you could take the nugget and you could break it up into a little piece. And there was something about the sweet and sour sauce that really it's almost like a comfort food for me. So whenever I, really feel like that need to jump in and get some McDonald's nugget, I'll get me a 20-pack. I'm not ashamed.
I said, the name of that movie was Founder, I think.
Is that the McDonald's thing?
The McDonald's Story with Michael Keaton and who plays Ron Swanson? Nick Offerman. Yeah, he's Dick McDonald.
Okay,
and then Michael Keaton does an awesome the guy that screwed him over.
I don't know.
Oh, it's awesome. It's on Netflix.
All right, maybe I'll have to watch it.
Let's see.
What's the live stream say? What is their preference?
I want to go. Jerry will take a Karen over. No. Michael said spicy. Yeah, the spicy McNuggets are amazing. Casey, yeah, my wife's been doing this or that of sorts every morning with all her classes. I love listening to some of the kids respond. My dad said McDee's, Phil McDee's, Casey McDonald's, Jerry McDonald's, Roy Kroc.
Roy Kroc is the guy that founded McDonald's.
Yeah, Michael Keaton did an awesome job of that. And Paul, when I was a kid, McDonald's sold fried chicken.
So it sounds like McDonald's across the board.
You remember Wendy's fried chicken?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I loved eating that with my dad.
Okay. That's across the board McDonald's.
Spicy nuggets or Burger King otherwise.
So I've never found the Burger King.
If you get them when they're hot, usually what you have to do, unfortunately, order a large amount and they cook them fresh for you. Like I'll get 20, 25. I'm also 200 pounds and 6 foot tall.
Second item on this week's This or That. When you are kayak fishing, would you pee in your kayak or beach it and then go?
Oh, hold on real quick. Mixed spaghetti.
I don't know what that is. I ignored that.
There is a when my sister was stationed down at Virginia Beach, there was a drive-through spaghetti place across the street from. Maybe my dad was. It was the weirdest Jolly something.
You know what I've always thought would be a really good restaurant? Soup and pretzels, like big soft pretzels. Like you go get a bowl of nice warm soup with a big nice hot pretzel to go with it. Doesn't that sound like a really good lunch?
Sounds like a bread bowl at Panera, and you got yourself a day.
It's different. It's different.
Oh yeah, Jolly Bees. It was like drive-through spaghetti and some weird stuff.
Anyway, would you rather pee in your kayak or beach the boat and then go?
I peed a lot in my kayak this year. I figured, so tip with the natives, the little hatch, if you kneel down, you get your little hoo-ha out of the, no one could see it, you get pee, you just move the hatch over and you just go right through there. I feel awkward beaching it sometimes and going, sometimes if I get in the right position, the colder months were hard when I had a pair of bib overall or something I buttoned up. Summertime, you just put it right through the scupper hole and let it go.
So that's what I do. Sometimes I'll carry a cup, like a cup, but beyond that.
What if I would be afraid of accidentally drinking?
No. No, that's not a problem.
Oh, that's the other Gatorade bottle, though.
That's not
both lime.
In the Gatorade bottle, that's a bike camping thing. The Gatorade bottle in the tent, so you don't have to worry about getting out in the middle of the night when it's cold. You just take care of business.
Women can use the squatty potties and pee in the kayak.
Well,
I just beach it.
I record with video. I have my little front.
Yeah, you better
camera.
Be careful.
Well, you don't know how many times I would be scrubbing through video when I want to do a video. It's disturbing. It's very disturbing.
I picked a bad one.
Because it catches you off guard when you're scrubbing video. And
I will say,
you see that.
The Titans are very stable to stand up and pee in. You can lean sideways and go over the side, but you're going to get some in. My dad, Paul said beach and go. Yeah, Jollibee. A lot of Jollibee talk. Beach it, Michael said. Brendan said, hey, man, we got to drive through Sushi in Prince Frederick. Ooh. I might have to check my passport out and go up there. Jerry said mixed spaghetti is a thing in the Philippines. Don't hate. Stand and kayak. Robert S. Jollibee is a Filipino fast food. Pea and kayak, Jerry said.
Jollibee talk.
Jollibee is the drive-through spaghetti. They have some weird food. Maybe it's weird to us. I interpret it as I don't think it's weird in a bad way. Like, I would totally go through drive-through spaghetti.
Now I'm craving to get spaghetti because of this.
Full set of C-Deck on mine, not peeing on expensive mat. I had C-Deck in my Slayer Max, and I peed all over it. It's also a good thing to rinse your kayak off pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Man, on these bike trips, sound like all you need to bring is a Gatorade and Pringles.
That's true.
Yeah,
Gatorade and Pringles. Gatorade and Pringles would save you in just about any scenario.
Yeah.
Third item.
The Pringles can, you two in it.
No. Third item on this week's This or That. Haul your kayaks around or hire someone to do that for you. Thank you, Joey.
Yeah. AKA the Maryland Kayak Outfitters.
What would you rather do?
I told you on the Facebook I spent all my money on my boat. I can't rent from you.
I saw that. I shared that video. Did you see the video I shared?
Oh,
with the
we didn't
guy?
talk about that.
This guy made this.
That guy still did the same amount of work.
Oh my God. He made this device that it was almost, I don't even know how to describe it. It was a winch that was at the top.
Over-engineered times 20.
Like a thing he put on the front end of his car in a hitch. So first off, he had to put a 2-inch hitch receiver on the front of his car. That was step one.
That was a few $100s.
And then he had this like big giant L bracket ladder rack thing that he had a winch on top of. And he had a cable. You pull the winch off, and then he had to make this bracket thing that went on the back of his car out of PVC so the kayak didn't ride on the car. And then he would go around and he'd hook the winch up to the front of the kayak, hoist the kayak up, and put it onto the PVC rack. And then he would sit there and pick up the back and run the winch to actually get the kayak up on top of his car. I agree. He did as much work with all of that, taking it apart and putting it back together. And then how do you get it down?
We hire some people.
But I thank you for throwing that into This or That. Yes, if you don't want to haul your own boats around, if you would rather just show up at the dock with your boat in the water, ready to fish and ready to go, then just come on over and see us at Maryland Kayak Outfitters.
I'll sell someone my pickup truck. You just slide your
help you
boat
out
in the back of it. I don't know. Oh, every so often, because I'm old, for people all summer, for myself, I'm doing all my work. Every so often, it's nice to just show up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I hired a guide when I went down to North Carolina. Sure, I'm hiring one this weekend. I won't do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to St. Leonard Creek. Hop in my Titan 10s.
Show and go.
And just
call ahead. Hey, I'm coming in.
And I was even promised that you would basically catch the fish for me.
I would catch fish for you.
Yeah.
I would catch fish for you. No, so say you've just gotten off work. It's a beautiful evening. You want to catch that last little bit before the sun sets, but you don't want to go home and load your boat and then go drive somewhere. All you got to do is say, hey, Brian, I'm rolling out down Route 4.
No, will you come get mine ready for me?
Will I come get yours?
Yeah.
I'll do anything for you, Joe.
No,
you know that.
Thanks.
I'll take care of you.
In
the live stream?
Butler. Jerry said Pringle can could serve the same purpose as a gate. I'm not peeing in a Pringles can.
No.
I feel like that's bound to leak. Kayak Butler, please.
Yep, there you go.
Phil, just so glad I got a demo of Joey's Titan before he ever had a chance to pee in it.
You don't know that, Phil.
Phil, you got to use my boat before I did.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Phil's the first person in my boat. And first person to catch a fish in it, too. I set up demos where you catch fish. My dad said, I got tired of watching that damn video. It took forever to load the boat.
No, it was like the guy worked it. It took him like 15 minutes to get that boat on top of that car.
Yeah. It's crazy. My sup is much easier to manage than all that. I will say, the sup stuff, half the time was easier.
Yeah.
Because before I got my native, I went 2 years on my paddleboard at a kayak fishing specific one.
Yeah.
But it was a pain sometimes.
Yeah.
It was a big board. It was 36 inches wide. I'd have to take the board down, then I'd go back, I used a Yeti Roadie for my storage, and then get my rods, it was almost just as much work in a sense. It was easier to transport and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, loading that and getting it going, nothing was hard fixed.
Right.
It has its purpose. But I sold that to Wes after I fiberglass patched it. I don't think he ever used it.
No, I think he lives real close to the water up there in Michigan. He talked.
Yeah, but I
about
don't know
he's
if he
using
used. I don't know if he paddleboarded this year.
it. He told me he did.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, so the boards
Yeah.
float.
Yeah.
I was just unsure. I sold them 2 of mine. I'll be building my aluminum boat out of this summer. Will be mothership services to local kayakers.
That's Michael.
Yeah.
Well, that I've seen people that do that. I'm very curious how that
There's
works out.
Big guide services in places, Louisiana, all the way out to like Cosmos. They use motherships.
Yeah.
With like skiffs and kayaks and
The
stuff.
problem with that is you got to have a Coast Guard license to do that.
Yeah. So with that, you need a full on.
6-pack.
Yeah, it's like a freaking 70-ton or something.
Yeah.
It's the same thing the charter guys are running.
Yeah.
It's a $5,000 license. Anytime you operate a business from a boat is a problem, is you'll get slapped with a heavy fine.
Yeah.
I know that because we ran into an issue with our skiffs at work doing tours.
Yeah.
Once we put a motor on that.
Yep.
It was a whole different story.
Whole nother ball game.
That was a license I'll get before I'm 40.
And you can I guess you can do it for friends, but
You can do it for friends, but any monetary
any monetary
items come into that?
And I think they even consider it like if you say, bring lunch or you pay for gas or something like that.
It still counts.
Coast Guard will nail you on that
Yeah.
stuff.
And then you got to have a lot of stuff on board for that. That is
Go anywhere near that.
it is a cool idea.
It's a fantastic idea. But
If you're going to really run with it.
I don't think I'd ever want to go with
Yeah.
that. I don't think I'd want to do that.
Last item on this week's This or That, as a bycatch. So your bycatch, would you rather it be a shark or a skate? And here's the thing, you cannot pop the leader. You've got to actually handle the fish. Where you at? Shark or a skate?
No, I told you I put this in there because this was my problem like 2-3 years ago on my paddleboard.
Mm-hmm.
I hooked a sandbar shark. Luckily, I was able to get. I'm using my example. So like my fly rod. I do most of my stuff with my fly rod. You can't just. You're using a pretty strong leader. I mean, you're running 20, 30, whatever, but you can't just cut the line on that thing. That's a $70 to $100 fly line. So out in Delaware, the first time I hooked first and only time I really caught a shark was a sandbar shark. It was still like 3.5 feet. I think towed me, and because you can't just. I could not pop the leader.
Yeah.
So I basically had to fight it for an hour to get up on it.
Oh.
And get really close to it, and because I also didn't want to waste my leader. That was that was time and money.
So when you got close enough to it, did you cut the leader? At
I
that
cut
point?
till I got the last foot of it. I got really close. My friend Tony was helping. Tony that was on. Tony was out there with me. Same thing. I was out there though, and we had a really good flounder day. We fished the flats, flounder fishing, and we were down to like the last 2 flies that were actually the flounder were picky. We kept hooking skates to the point we would every skate we got, we were getting our flies back.
So, yeah, because you don't want to lose the.
I think there's a couple good pictures that almost look like we had an epic fish. It's really just a skate, and like I'm out there, one of them I'm holding the wings up, and then like it's Jerry and my other friend Jerry and Tony are ripping the flies out. So like we retrieved like 4 flies out of skates, and I don't know which one I would pick.
Okay. So the caveat is you're in. Are you in a kayak or are you on the beach? So we'll say kayak.
Kayak, because kayak, I think kayak's actually tougher because you're getting pulled around. You lose ground, or you don't gain ground.
Well, with the pedal drive, you actually
could.
You could.
I was on a paddleboard.
You can use the pedal drive to fight a fish a little bit, but not a lot. I was watching some videos. We were sharing some YouTube channels on the Fort Hill Kayak Anglers group, and watched that dude catch that 500-pound black marlin down in.
Oh, like Tropic Star somewhere down in Panama.
That was crazy stuff. I think I would rather the skate.
I freaking hate skates.
Shark. I don't know.
Shark wasn't so bad, I think, as I got closer to it.
Shark's going to fight more like a fish, whereas a skate, they go to the bottom and they kind of bury themselves in the muck, and you kind of got to horse them back out
Those
again.
are strong.
Yeah, and they're really strong.
They give you like 20 good seconds of anxiety, like, oh.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, God, skate.
I gotta skate.
And I'm in it for, you're in it for an hour if you want to actually fight it. You can't.
My thing with the shark is the only thing I kept thinking of when I was out there, because that place is pretty heavily populated with sharks. was other sharks around because of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh crap, I can't see.
Yeah.
I'm on a paddleboard, like
Yeah.
doesn't take much.
This is a great this or that,
Yeah.
because I'm not really 100% sure what the answer would. I'm going to say skate, because skate don't have teeth.
It's like when they start flapping around when they get close. That's why I might go shark.
And they get kind of crazy. And you're talking about you actually have to. You can't just pop the leader. You have to get down to the fish, or at least get close to the fish. Man, that's tough. I'm still going to stay with skate because
I'm gonna go shark.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Little shark. Ain't no bull shark or anything like that.
A little shark. Okay.
3 feet. 3 footer's pretty big, but
yeah, it's a big shark.
it wasn't bad.
I'll take a finger off. Okay, so where's the
get
live stream on that?
You get Steve Irwin. Michael said shark. 5K, I'll pass. Jerry said skate. Casey said skate. It makes good crack. Let's say guac, but she revived it with crab food. Phil said depends on the size shark. Jerry caught a skate while kayak fishing last season.
Yeah, I was with him when he caught that skate.
Los Buzos, Phil said.
That's where that video was, because we were on the Fort Hill Kayak Anglers group sharing YouTube channels.
Then Michael said that was his second one.
And yeah, that was crazy. That Los Buzos. You guys, whoever shared that channel, shout out the name of it, because I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was the lead video for the channel, and I got sucked into it. It was like half an hour. This dude hooked up with this marlin. It was like a 5-hour fight, and they had the whole thing on video. They had a little chase boat. They were pulling kayaks into little fishing boats. They got lost in the dark, and they ran out of gas. It's pretty wild. It's definitely an outstanding watch. Took me a while to get through it, but that was really cool. Field trips with Robert Field. That's what it was. And that was the number one, the first video the little channel leads. Look that up, Joey. Yeah, you'd really get
Bob's Field. Oh, I've seen the video.
Oh, you've seen it?
Oh, that thing went viral. Was it like a year ago when it first came out?
I'd never seen it. Yeah, I just randomly clicked on it. It was pretty cool.
Brennan says, I don't know. You could specify the size of the thing, tiny shark, then obviously. It's 3 to 4 foot shark.
3 to 4 foot shark.
Yeah.
I'd still go with the skate, I think.
Sometimes you got to slap the bowl and go. So,
thanks everybody. That's all for this or that this week. Thanks everybody for playing along. We appreciate it.
Watch Founder on the Netflix, and you probably won't want McDonald's after that. Not from the food standpoint, because we all seen how the chicken nuggets are made, and we're still eating them. The pink foam.
It's not. That's not what it is.
That's real?
That's not real.
That's why you can, without teeth. Man, that was a great movie. I recommend.
That was a lot of fun though on the Fort Hill Kayak Anglers group. We are all sharing YouTube channels. That was pretty cool.
Oh, I thought I saw that.
It was just a couple days.
Mine would just be Greg Blanchard because of my crush on him.
Yeah, your little man crush.
Yeah, look at our short episode tonight. 55, 60 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
We're programmed for an hour.
I think that's what it is.
We don't.
Just nailed it. Nailed it.
It.
We had a very lively bike podcast.
Yeah, probably just had us fired up.
It's probably one of the better ones I think we've had in a while. We had a bag manufacturer on, and that was good stuff.
We should get a kayak. I should get someone from Native on here. Obi. Yeah, I'll maybe ask Obi to get on here.
There you go. That'd be awesome.
Or what's his name? There's a couple people.
Yeah.
So
let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, thanks for listening. If you're looking to get in touch with us, Facebook.com/Angler Magazine Chesapeake. If for some reason you enjoy our blathering, on Instagram @Chesapeake Angler, you can find me @BN Range. Joey, how can folks get in touch with you?
Through Brian, or because I'm somewhere on Brian stuff at Joey Sikorsky 24. If you go to our podcast page for the bikes, you can find my phone number, but I won't give that out. And my
I'm going to take that down.
Pack Paddle Sports is my paddle Instagram.
I did not know it. Joey informed me tonight that I've been advertising his personal cell phone number for quite some time.
Well, there's been a few people that text us. I'm like, well, I know how they got my number.
I had to get rid of that.
Yeah.
If you're looking at us on YouTube, youtube.com/Chesapeake Angler. And, of course, you can read the e-magazine online at ChesapeakeAnglerMag.com. A lot of fun this week, Joey. Thank you.
Yep.
A lot of fun. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around, and we will talk to you next week.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Okay, post-show here. We're still streaming. Hope everybody enjoyed it tonight. I think we had a good show. I think we had a lot of fun.
Yep.
I think you had fun. Thank you, everybody. Do we have a lot of people in the live stream? I don't even know. I can't even.
The normal crowd.
Don't even know how to tell anymore.
I don't either. You asked me last week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, thanks everybody. We're gonna step out.